Hi everyone. Given an array of positive integers, return the second largest element from the array. So the input is an array of integers and the output should be a single integer which should which should be the second largest element from the given array. If the second largest element doesn't exist, then return -1. So if the given array doesn't have any second largest element, then we need to return -1. For example, here if you see the third example, here the three elements in this array are same. It doesn't have any second largest element. So the output should be -1. And the second largest element should not be equal to the largest element. Okay, so to find the second largest element, first we need to find the first largest element in the array, and then we can loop through the array and we can find the next largest element. Uh, so to to find this second largest element, first uh, we need to take the array and then we need to assign the first value as the first largest element. We need to consider it as the first largest element, and then we need to go through the next elements in the array and check whether the any other elements in the array is greater than the first largest element. If that is greater, then we can uh, we can assign the first largest element as the second largest element, and then we can assign that element which is greater than the first largest element as the first largest element. If you see this example, uh, first we need to take this 12 and assign it as the first largest element, and then we need to go through the next element in the array, uh, and we need to check whether this 35 is greater than 12. If yes, this is greater than 12, so we need to update the first largest element as 35, and this 12 is now the second largest element in the array, and then we need to go through the next elements to check whether any of these numbers are uh, larger than the first largest element or the second largest element. So let's try to program this logic into code. First, we need to declare the first largest element. Let it be first max. It will be the first element in the given array, and then initially the second largest element should be -1, because if there is no second largest element in the array, then we need to return -1. So let this be stored in the second max variable and as -1. Now we need to loop through the array, so we can use for loop for int I is equal to 0. We need to start from the index 0 in the array, or else we can also start from the 1, since we already assigned the first element to the first max, and uh, we need to go till the less than the length of the array. It should not include the final length of the array, because the length will be counted from 1 but the index value will be counted from 0. So we need to end uh, with my with decreasing one value from the length of the array. and then for each iteration we need to increase the I count by 1. Now we need to check whether the array of that index I, which is a iteration, is greater than the first max, that is first largest element. If this is large, then we need to assign the first largest element in the second max variable, and then we need to update the first largest element as the current element. Now what if the current element is not greater than the first max, but it is greater than the second max? So we also need to put another condition to check whether the current element is greater than second max or not. If array of I is greater than second max, and also we need to consider this note where the second largest element should not be equal to the largest element. So we also need to put up a condition here that the current element should not be equal to the first largest element, that is first max. If it satisfies this both these two conditions, then we need to update the second max as the current element. And then finally, once these all iterations will be completed, we can return the second max, that is the second largest element from the array. Let's compare it. Yes, it worked. Thank you.